Good morning, friends. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to today's financial news and updates for October 13th, 2023. I'm your host, Pawan, and to dive into the latest market trends, economic development, and financial insights from around the world. So, in the first news, very good news on the front of economy. The NSO, that is National Statistical Organization, it has released its data, and the September retail inflation has fallen to a 3-month low of 5.02%, and August IIP growth has risen to 10.03%. For good news on both the fronts, India's inflation rate fell below the RBI's upper tolerance level of 6% for the first time in 3 months. For the first time in 3 months in September. So, what is the tolerance range? The tolerance range for RBI is between 2 to 6%. 2%, why 2%? Some people will ask because the inflation is good at 0%. But no, inflation is good for economy. High inflation is bad for economy. So it has to be between this range of 2 to 6%. Below 2%, it carries the risk of de-inflation, and above 6%, it carries the risk of higher inflation, hyperinflation. So the inflation has eased to 5.02% year on year in September from 6.8% in August on the account of moderation of vegetable prices, cereals, clothing, footwear, housing, and services. So these are all very important component for retail segment for common people. So good news on the inflation front, and on the IIP front, that is Index of Industrial Production front, it has accelerated to 14-month high in August to 10.03% year on year in August compared to 6.02% in July. So it is driven by a low base effect. If you want to know what is low base effect, please go to my channel. I've made a video on that. I'll put this link in description. And other factor is robust growth in power, mining, and manufacturing services. So very good news on economic front. IMF, that is International Monetary Fund, it has called for urgent support from members to increase its quota resources. So now, what is quota resources? Quota resources are the main source of financing for IMF. They are also the key determinant of voting powers in IMF. So these quotas are to decide your voting powers, and you have to contribute to IMF on the basis of these quotas also, only. So how quotas are assigned to each member country? They are assigned on the basis of their relative position in world economy as measured by GDP, trade, and other factors. Quotas are denominated in SDR, and that is you can say it is a currency of IMF, that is special drawing rights. So it is a unit of account for IMF. So IMF is asking its members to increase their quota resources so that it can get funding. And what it is, what it want funding for? So it want funding to lend under the concessional lending scheme of PRGT, that is Poverty Reduction and Growth Trust, and RST, that is Resilience and Sustainability Trust. So these are concessional lending facility of IMF. PRGT is available to low-income countries that are eligible for IMF concessional financing for poverty reduction. The RST is a newer facility established in 2021, and it focuses mainly on the low-income and vulnerable middle-income countries, and it works to build their resilience to climate change. So IMF want more funding so they can increase onwards funding to poorer countries and countries at risk of climate change under this scheme. A very surprising and surprising report has emerged from IFPRI, that is International Fund for Policy Research Institute. They release the Global Hunger Index annually. They have released that index for 2023, and you will be surprised to know that they have kept India at 111th place among total 121 countries. So India has been working for fighting against malnutrition and others for years now, and I will say the situation on ground is much better. And government has also rejected the reports, telling them misinformed and malicious. But let's see how this report works. So this report measures the poverty based on points like, first point is undernourishment of population. So how much percentage of your population is undernourished? That is first point. Second point is child stunting. What is child stunting? It is the share of children under the age of 5 who are stunted. Stunted means they have low height for their age. So they don't. They have not grown. The growth is not proper. Second is child wasting. Child wasting is the share of children under the age of 5 who are wasted. That is, they have low weight for their height. So this ratio is skewed. Then child mortality. So what is the child mortality rate for children under the age of 5? So it is a probability of a child dying before reaching the age of 5 mainly on account of malnutrition. So these are their criteria. Though government has rejected, but we should continue working on for nutrition of children and population as a whole. Now coming to IDBI disinvestment, the government is going ahead with the process of disinvestment in the IDBI Bank. RBI has started the process of vetting of bidders for IDBI, and they are planning to complete it by October end. So for the benefit of our viewers, what is vetting? Vetting is RBI is evaluating the bidders of IDBI based on their financial strength, their experience in running a bank, their reputation. These three things are very important for any company who is planning to run a bank in India. Banks, they carry a lot of trust of the people, and this is a very important step. After RBI assesses the bidders on the basis of these three criteria, they will recommend the names to government. So what the government is planning to sell, government currently holds 45.4%, and the state-owned LIC holds 49.24% in IDBI Bank, and they are planning to sell a combined stake of 60.70% of the bank. Now, who are the bidders? The bidders are Kotak Mahindra Bank, the Prem Vatsa promoted CSB Bank, and Emirates NBD. These three are the promoters, and RBI will be vetting these contenders. Banks have asked RBI to set up a liquidity window for financing of startups. So a study was done by IBA, that is Indian Banks Association, and Indian Chambers of Commerce and Industry, and they have come up with a report that says that though banks are adequately capitalized to support growth, but for funding startups, because they are high risk segment, so they need funds at concessional rate from RBI, which would serve as safety net for their net interest margin and net interest income. So the startups, they are very important for the economy, because they create this entrepreneurship culture in India. But to support them, banks are urging RBI that they should provide some kind of concession in financing, so that they can also go all out and support. Till now, these startups are mainly funded by equity ventures and angel investing firms, but they need bank support also to sustain in the long run. So RBI need to decide on this. Bad news for Paytm Payment Bank. RBI has imposed a hefty fine of rupees 5.39 crore on Paytm Payment Bank. This penalty has been imposed after the report of the statutory auditors. On behalf of RBI, they have submitted a report, and they have found non-compliance with certain provisions of the regulators' Know Your Customer directions. So Paytm Payment Bank failed to identify the beneficial owner in respect of entities onboarded for providing payout services. What is payout services? These are services offered by the Paytm for transferring regular payments to the employees, to the vendors, to suppliers. So in this segment, Paytm has not complied certain regulations of KYC, so RBI has imposed a penalty. On the share market front, Infosys announced their result yesterday. The results were in line with the expectations. The company's net profits rose to 3.17% to 6,212 crore compared to 6,012 crore in the corresponding period last year. So the results were in line, but the main concern is the company has narrowed its revenue growth guidance. The guidance they have narrowed for the full year at the upper end of 1 to 2.5%. So this has been a uniform problem. The TCS also they had good results. They as per the expectations of the market, but now they have also given a weak guidance for the months and quarters to come. So this is a very concerning on the part of this company individually and the sector as a whole. This slowdown is also reflected in their headcounts, which has shrunk. And for the first time, they're not going to plan to hire any fresh talent from the campuses. So no campus recruitment from IT company Infosys. Now, banks next news: banks' outstanding credit deposit spread is at 8-year low in August. So what is this credit deposit spread? This is the spread between WALR, that is weighted average lending rate, and WADTDR, that is weighted average domestic term deposit rate. So in August 2023, this outstanding deposit rate, they have increased because of the competition among the lenders to garner more and more deposits from customers, and the lending rates have remained flat. Why? Because the RBI has not changed rates for last 3 consecutive quarters, as you know. So that has the potential of squeezing the profit margin of banks. So now banks have to manage their liquidity a bit to control the decline in their NIMs. Sri Lanka, we all know AMUL. So Sri Lanka is seeking AMUL's help in achieving self-sufficiency in the dairy industry. Sri Lanka has been through the turmoil because of the economy and the political unrest, what was happening there in the last year, in the recent times. And AMUL is a renowned cooperative, farmers cooperative. They have shown their capacity in managing, and they have increased the production manifold. So it is renowned world over. Now they have planned a joint venture agreement. They have signed a joint venture agreement, which is signed between India's National Dairy Development Board, Gujarat's Cooperative Milk Marketing Federation, that is AMUL, and the Cargills of Sri Lanka. So this has done to they are planning to bring self-sufficiency in the dairy industry for Sri Lanka. So it will also increase India's presence in Sri Lanka. Now, another rich list is out, that the world famous Forbes India Rich List 2023. And here also Mukesh Ambani has reclaimed the top position. Adani has slipped to number 2. So Mukesh Ambani has once again reclaimed the first position in top richest India's richest 100 with a net worth of $92 billion. Gautam Adani, who has slipped to second position after the impact on the share prices after the report published by Hindenburg Research and later by OCCRP. What is OCCRP? That is Organized Crime and Corruption Reporting Project. So they had published a report recently, and that has taken a toll on the share prices of Adani shares, which has brought his net worth down. Now he is the second richest person, second richest in India. RBI has started the wholesale CBDC pilot project for call money. Now, what is call money? Call money is the interbank market where banks borrow or lend to each other for short-term period, usually 1 day, at market-determined rates, and it is done to manage the liquidity of the bank. Bank having excess liquidity, they pass it on to other banks who need funds for short-term period. Now RBI is planning to shift this call money market to CBDC. They have started the pilot project. 6 banks had participated. RBI has not come out openly on this count, but this report is based on the sources. So these are the main news for today. I hope this segment will be useful for you. That wrap up our financial news and updates for October 13. We hope you found the information valuable and insightful. Stay tuned for more updates and analysis in the days to come. And remember, knowledge is power in the world of finance. Thank you for joining us today. We look forward to see you tomorrow again. By the time, stay safe. I'm signing off. Good day.